Hey everyone, Tony here. Hope you're doing well. It is Monday, November 26th. I have some very big news to share with you guys, and I hope you're holding strong and you're not losing faith in crypto, because I'm seeing a lot of news about people saying it's hard to be confident and this is happening. And obviously, this is not financial or investment advice, but remember what I've always talked about is you shouldn't invest what you can't afford to lose. And that goes not just for crypto, but for stocks, real estate, if you're investing in gold or silver, any asset, right? Any investment, there comes a risk that is just inherent, right? It doesn't matter what you're investing in. So hope you guys understand that. Also, we've been talking about, regardless of how the market's been moving, it's been in a bear market for the past year. The prices have, really dropped significantly recently, but behind the scenes, the infrastructure is being laid out. We saw big names like Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, of course, powered by the New York Stock Exchange, and Starbucks announced they are getting into the market. We had other guys like Rick Edelman from Wall Street also mentioned he's getting in. Yale revealed that they're investing in crypto. So a lot of moves taking place, and we're seeing the SEC is now moving really fast. Surprisingly, right? All year they haven't been doing anything. Starting in October, if you saw my video the other day, showing the correlation between the announcements of the big money and the SEC ramping up efforts, putting out ICO guides, going after ICOs, not all, but the ones that need to register as a security, making sure they're going after exchanges as well. So the fact that they're moving so quickly and they're being so active is an indication of what is to come. I personally believe a Bitcoin ETF is around the corner. The next deadline to review is December 29th. I don't think it's going to happen then. I think it's going to happen at the next deadline, which is February. And there's some big guys in the market, such as Mike Novogratz and so forth, who have been saying that's when they think the bull run's going to start. We know Bakkt pushed back their launch to January 24th. So something's cooking up here. And I want to remind you guys, tomorrow, November 27th, Tuesday, November 27th, is the CoinDesk Consensus Invest conference. So why is this significant? Once again, if you saw my video from the other day about the institutional money in the SEC, there's going to be all the major players there. You have the CEO of Bakkt along with the CEO of ICE. Yes, the ICE, which owns the New York Stock Exchange. And then you have the SEC's Jay Clayton will also be there. So there's many big things ahead. And let me see if they're all listed here. You have folks from TD Ameritrade and Fidelity are going to be there. Goldman Sachs as well. So this is no joke, guys. There's going to be all the major crypto investment firms and hedge funds there too, like Galaxy Digital and all the others. So as you can see, folks on Grayscale, the folks on Van Eck, who right now put a request in for a physically backed Bitcoin ETF, waiting for the SEC to approve it. So here, this guy, Terrence Dempsey from Fidelity Digital Assets. You have the guy, managing director of Grayscale, and you have the digital asset strategy of Van Eck, Gabor Gorbaks. I'm actually looking to do an interview with him, so stay tuned with that. It most likely won't be for another 3 weeks. His schedule is pretty packed. You have folks in the Wall Street Journal. You have folks in Morgan Creek Digital. Let me see here. Dan Moorhead from Panthera Capital. And here you have it, my friends. Mr. Jay Clayton, Chairman, U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Remember what I said in that video the other day and even before? I don't believe in coincidences. There's a lot of coordination here, a big strategy here. These people move in different circles, and there's a lot of things that they're working together on. Let's see here. I just want to make sure I call out this folks on BitGo as well. These are just the speakers, but you guys saw my video the other day where I showed the full list. There's people from Goldman Sachs that are going to be there. So there's a lot. Rick Edelman himself as well, the Wall Street legend. So I'm very curious as to what's coming tomorrow and what may be announced. We might hear something significant, but let's wait and see. Now, on that note, on that note, guys, a big announcement. Today, Frank Chaparro, who is he is a writer at the Block, which is a cryptocurrency blockchain site, which has recently been announcing a lot of breaking news, and one of which I'm going to cover. But he said here today, guys, he tweeted the following: if crypto is dead, then why do I have like a gazillion embargoed press releases in my inbox for when? Tomorrow morning. Let's see what happens, guys. We can't predict the future, but I always point you to the facts and we can make some educated guesses. Something major could be announced tomorrow. We don't know. Is it enough to move the market? We don't know. So I'm just letting you know. But I'll take any good news now because it will help lay the foundation for the market to go back up. And I'm not saying the market's going to go back up in December. Like I said, I think it could go back up maybe late January into February, around when that Bitcoin ETF could get approved, right? But we are seeing moves and things like this that are happening that I like I said, I pushed my prediction back, and as I've said before, I could be wrong. I don't have a crystal ball, but we make educated guesses based on the facts. I hope you guys grasp that. I can't with 100% certainty say, well, the bull run's going to start here, or this is when the SEC is going to. No one knows that. So please, guys, those of you who are new to the market, you have that bigger understanding of what's happening here, that no one can accurately predict anything, but we can make educated guesses. We can at least look at the news and the facts and say, okay, maybe this may happen at this point. Hope you grasp that. So let's see what happens tomorrow. Something big might be coming. We'll see. Now, Frank reported on the following. If you guys remember, Switzerland approved that crypto ETP, which included multiple cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, XRP, and so forth. Well, apparently, and he says here, just in, traders are going crazy over Switzerland's new exchange-traded product. So let me go through the details here with you guys. Apparently, they've been putting money into it. A crypto ETP trading on Switzerland's SIX exchange has the highest turnover of any product. The so-called Amun crypto basket ETP tracks 5 cryptos, including Bitcoin and Ether. An exchange-traded product tracking 5 of the largest cryptos has become a darling among traders, even as the market for digital assets continues to dump. So it looks like these guys are probably looking to get in early, and I'm not sure what their strategy is, and I fully don't understand the whole workings of an ETF or an ETP. But obviously it's a way for them to speculate and invest money into the respective asset class. The so-called Amun crypto basket ETP began trading on Switzerland's SIX exchange last week, and it now has the highest volume of any exchange product trading on the venue. Now, what have we talked about? The smart money buys when there's blood on the streets, when the prices are low, in the dips. The dumb money buys at the highs, and then they get wrecked. So this is not to call anyone dumb or smart or whatever, right? But the idea is that's a sentiment or a statement that comes from Wall Street. And it's true, right? People who don't do their due diligence, their time to research, like the people who bought last December, guys, into January, I'm not sure how a majority of them probably didn't do their research, didn't spend months researching. Like personally, when I heard about crypto from a friend, I didn't invest right away, and I saw he made money. I kept researching it. Like, I need to understand am I investing in here? What is this all about? Am I going to get scammed? But then when I understood the underlying technology of blockchain technology and how that works, and understood that, okay, what's the risk of it, and also what are the pros and cons and all those things, then I went into it. A lot of the people who bought last in December and January, many of them did not do that. I know many of you guys have done your research as well before you invested in stuff. And that's where the concept of dumb money comes into play. They just see the mainstream news, they see everyone's talking about it, and they just jump into it. without knowing what's happening, without looking at the market cycles, without understanding market cycles, without looking at the history of the run up. So I'm glad that we here, who are, you guys are watching this video, we understand these market principles, these underlying principles, and these foundational principles, because if you don't, that's where you get destroyed, right? You lose your money. That's why I personally, like I said in my video yesterday, I've been buying the dip. So as you can see here, the Amun Crypto Basket Index, ETP, doing really well. Now it's down 15%, but out of all the ETPs, it is number one. And I don't blame these guys. They're buying the dip, right? So to speak. They're getting in early ahead of the curve. So maybe something's coming. Maybe that's why Frank is like, hey, I got press releases for tomorrow. Maybe that's why all these people are showing up at Consensus Invest, including the SEC. So I don't know. I'm just, I like I said, making an educated guess here based on some information. Now, the Abacus Journal, this is not confirmed. They're saying sources, and they don't name those sources, but they said sources, Bank of America, our Merrill Lynch brand should lead token product push once regulators show their hand. Now, this doesn't come as a surprise. Like, I am not surprised at this. Remember what I've been sharing with you guys? Bank of America has been nonstop gaining patents for crypto storage and all kinds of crypto solutions. They are working behind the scenes, and it wouldn't surprise me if they launch some huge crypto trading custody service, guys, because of all the patents they've been racking up, man. You guys who've been subscribed to the channel, I've shared these news over and over. Bank of America, this filed this patent. Bank of America won this patent. Blah, blah, blah. They've been going all in on this. So this is why I'm giving it some credibility here, because, they have been really doing stuff behind the scenes. So Bank of America is not the organization that many would tab as a prime candidate to lean in to digital assets and attempt to beat competitors to the party. But in conversation that we found illuminating and eye-opening, there is a real appetite for wealth management divisions of one of the world's largest financial institutions to lead charge that gives HNW and UHNW clients access to approved tokenized products. So Merrill Lynch obviously is part of Bank of America, and let's see here. Bank of America Merrill Lynch has taken notice of the constant conversations being had in hallowed halls at Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Citigroup, and are pushing to play catch up across the digital asset spectrum. No one wants to get left behind, especially when you have announcements from TD Ameritrade, obviously backed with the ICE backing them, and obviously TD Fidelity, right? Then Bank of America doesn't want to get left behind. None of these banks do. They want to make money. They want to get in this market. As each of those competitor organizations has announced intentions to either partner with Bitcoin initiatives at exchanges like CME, CBOE, the Backed Initiative, or even Gemini as it grows its footprint in partnerships with NASDAQ. Over the weekend, we had numerous conversations with sources at Merrill Lynch who have good faith to believe that Bank of America and Merrill Lynch are approaching digital assets in two ways. Number one, Merrill executives have had serious and ongoing conversations with Backed and how to benefit from the exchange network, custody services, and warehouse facility concepts that are set to come to the market. Of course, these Wall Street guys, they are all talking to each other. Remember what I said? They move in different circles. They are all talking to each other. Trust me. It's a matter of not that. I mean, they're different companies, but this is a matter of rich and poor and wealthy and just the common folks, right? They move in different circles. It's like, what they say here in the United States, the 1% versus the rest of the 99%. That's what this is about. It's building that wealth and keeping that wealth in their own circles. So, of course, they're talking. Of course, they're looking at the partnerships and how they can leverage each other's services. Maybe Merrill Lynch doesn't want to do what Backed is doing, but they want to maybe use their custody service, right? Number two, those same Merrill executives are planning futures, NDF, and longer tail, an example, 2020 availability, ETF products that can be marketed to accredited investor clients, and then more mass affluent clients next. So if you saw my video and even my blog post on thinkingcrypto.com talking about the mass marketing that's going to be coming, because what do businesses have to do? Market to drive demand. Fidelity and TD Ameritrade are going to need a return on their investment of building out their crypto services. They need to build awareness, right? It's all coming into place here, guys. You got to think about it from a business standpoint, not just crypto here. These guys are in it to make money. So this is very interesting news. Once again, they don't cite the source, but the fact of what we've seen Bank of America been doing with the patents is very telling, and this is definitely not far-fetched. This is certainly happening, guys. I mean, the fact that you're talking and looking into it, of course they are. Now, on to some next news here. Coinbase and others invest $12.75 million in project to create a digital security offerings. Now, who are they investing in? Securitize. If you guys recall, when I was at World CryptoCon, who did I talk to? Securitize. I spoke to one of the co-founders, Jamie Finn, and they just got a round of funding, which is great. $8 billion. It's Coinbase, Ripple's Xpring initiative, and it looks like Blockchain Capital as well. They all came together and funded a Series A fund raising for Securitize. Securitize, if you haven't watched the video, definitely check it out, guys. They are looking to be a platform for security token offerings, STOs. Remember my video on that? Remember what I've been talking about? Asset-backed tokens, that's the future. ICOs are going to become irrelevant eventually. It's going to be about STOs. And these STOs can be listed on stock exchanges. So great, stuff here for Securitize. But the big important thing here, right? Ripple's Xpring initiative is called out here. And remember my interview with Omni, right? Omni was funded via the Xpring initiative. We know Scooter Braun and SB Projects is also on that list, and there's many more. Like, we didn't know about this one, right? Securitize is going to get funded. And what is Ripple's goal with funding these companies with XRP? To get them to use XRP within the ecosystem. So I'm not sure at what capacity Securitize will be using XRP, but I'm trying to get a follow-up interview with Jamie to talk to him about this funding and how they may potentially use XRP. So stay tuned for that. But as you can see, Ripple's on the move, and this is the future, because even Coinbase invested in blockchain capital, guys. So very big things are ahead. So I hope you can look beyond the price being down right now, and you're not a prisoner of the moment. The big money, these folks are looking long term. They're looking at the bigger picture, and obviously right now they're shaking out the weak hands, and only those who are as confident and strong enough to hold will be rewarded. Because if you sell now and then the market goes back up and you buy higher, they've already got you, because they have made money off of you. Another company funded by XRP here, or the Xpring initiative, guys. XRP, this was interesting, reported by CoinDesk. XRP nears longest stretch as the world's second largest cryptocurrency. So I'm not going to go too much into this because we've been talking about this a lot. XRP captured a number 2 spot, even in this down market, which was surprising. It really held its position really well against Ethereum, and this has been the longest stretch. So this is a sign. Could this be the moment of number 2 spot officially to XRP? Sure. We have to let it play out, but so far it looks good. And I've said it before. I believe when those banks and financial institutions fully roll out on XRapid, which is live, and the volume kicks in, I think it can take the number 1 spot from Bitcoin. I certainly believe that because of the utility. And like I said, when that volume kicks in, and we're talking, Brad Garlinghouse said dozens of banks next year. So I think it has to get to dozens of banks because you have to move the volume. Yeah, the volume has to be there, right? So I'm a factual, logical person, and I believe that's how it could happen. So Now, we have a lot of XRP listings and updates. Shout out to Leonidas. He's the one who, found all this stuff. eFIN Exchange, a decentralized trading platform powered by TokenPay and developed by BlocksizeDevs, will include XRP when it launches December 19th. We have Vertpig, if I'm saying that right, currently working on integrating Monero, XRP, Zcash, Ethereum, and Ethereum Classic, and those coins will be available over the coming days and weeks. So it looks like it's going to be they're going to have the Euro and the Great Britain pound pairings there. So good sign. 58 Coin, founded in the Marshall Islands in November 2011, with branch offices in Japan, New Zealand, Hong Kong, etc., is a one-stop blockchain service platform. It has added XRP OTC trading. OTC, over the counter. Who's that for? Big money. What have we been talking about? Big money buying OTC for sure. Even Ripple said it in their Q3 report, right? You didn't see the purchase coming on the exchange. They bought it directly from Ripple. And Corey Johnson said Wall Street and institutional folks. So I hope you guys see the bigger picture here. What's setting up to happen, right? Sharia Review Bureau. This is a report from April 2008. And here's what the PDF of the report looks like. And in there, they said XRP is a currency coin, which is very interesting. And currency coins refer to currencies like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ripple, and so forth. The reason why I'm sharing this is because there's a lot of FUD going around, about XRP being a security and whatever. We've gone through that, so I'm not even going to waste my time because the facts are all out there. And but I just like to show you that credited sources, right? Companies and management companies and consultants recognize this. It's just the FUDsters on Twitter and wherever on YouTube that are go around spreading nonsense, but they don't actually have any facts to back it up. So continued adoption and integration of XRP on exchanges along with pairings. And of course, it's a number 2 crypto now, but this is very different from last year where XRP was very difficult to purchase. But now we're seeing across the world and the globe, their XRP is being listed on multiple exchanges and being used as a base currency, and also getting a lot of fiat pairings added to it now. And finally, guys, you've seen this before, but just for those who are new, the Wall Street psychology of the market cycle and how people's emotions and their way to operate. And what have I always said? Don't invest with your emotions. Don't look at the chart with your emotions. You can't do that. You're going to get wrecked, because that's what I was talking about. People who bought last year, going off emotions. Oh my gosh, this person buying, I want to make money too, without doing research. And you got to research. You got to take your time, know what's going on. And, you have the ride up to optimism, euphoria, and then anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation, which I believe is happening right now in the market. And then it goes to anger and then depression. So the market could go down further. Who knows? And then it goes back up, and then there's a bit of disbelief. Like, I don't know if this is actual rally, right? And then into hope, and then the cycle goes back up again. And like I said, once you understand these underlying principles of the market and psychology and how this all works, that's why I personally don't panic. I don't worry about the price and what's happening and this and that, because as long as the technology makes sense and it's here to disrupt and improve the way we live and the transaction, that will then be adopted, right? The governments are now lining up with their regulations and their guides. We see what the SEC is doing. You have major players coming into the market. And I've said it before, guys, back in late 2016 when I got into the market, I wish I bought more then, but we didn't have news like this. I wish I knew Fidelity and TD Ameritrade. I would have bought more, and I probably made a whole lot more money in last year's bull run up. But I didn't, because we didn't have that news. It was still a bit, I'm not sure. I bought some, but I wasn't fully bought in, because part of while the technology made sense, I still need to see who's adopting, who's doing what, right? And but then in 2017, I did buy and fill my bag significantly as news came out. Who's doing what, and adoption, and we see the increases. So I hope you guys understand these things, and you're not depressed. You're not worried. Oh my gosh, crypto is here to stay, guys. It's a new asset class. The big money's here. Look at what's happening tomorrow. All these people are meeting to discuss crypto, and includes the SEC. Do you think they don't have other things to do, right? There's money to be made in other markets as well, but they see the writing on the wall. This is a new emerging asset class. This is the future. This is the new technology. It's similar to other booms, right? Where we had the dot-com boom in the 90s. If you saw the potential of the internet, even though it wasn't at full maturity, we were at dial-up, right? But you understood how it was going to change our lives, and the ability for different websites to cater to different services, just as you have different tokens, which will have different utilities. And the underlying technology is blockchain, which can be mirrored to the internet, right? So I hope you guys get that. And the future is bright. Don't be a prisoner of the moment of just, oh my God, my tokens and the price is down. What's going on? Look at what the big money is doing. Look at the moves being made, and that'll tell you an entirely different story than the charts at the moment, I should say. Because if you look back at the chart, you see an actual story of us going up. We are still up significantly. When you look back at where Bitcoin was, Ethereum, XRP, and so forth, below a penny, and look where we're at right now. Markets have run-ups, then they have corrections, new higher support levels each after each run-up. And of course, markets move in cycles, bear and bull. Bear markets can last for a long time. Bull markets, not so long, but just look at the stock market. We had a 10-year bull run up. Now it's starting to correct. So I hope you grasp that. All these things move in cycles. The housing market moves in cycles, gold and silver, stock market, oil. It's a cycle. And once your eyes are open to that, oh, okay. Now I get it. Now I see what's happening. And now I know when to buy and when to sell and all of that. Anyway, guys, I don't want to keep ranting here, but what do you think about this news? I think tomorrow we could see something big. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Thumbs up if you like this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you guys for your support. Please help share my channel and videos with your friends and family who you think might be helpful for them. Maybe they want to learn about crypto. So thank you guys, and I'll talk to you all later.